All right, you ready? Hit it?
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, let's go.
All right, we're going to try out the new style this time. You ready?
Yeah, a little bit different.
All these haters can stop hating.
Yeah, you guys stop hating on our ads. We got to get paid. we have got to pay some bills.
All right, tell me when.
We got illegitimate kids to feed.
All right, game time.
Let's go.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of King of the Court. I am your host. We are your hosts, Tyler and
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Thank you for joining us. We'd like to thank our premier title sponsor, the Pickler. They have indoor pickleball facilities all across the country.
Yes.
They've announced 80 plus. They also have an e-commerce platform to buy your next paddle. Check them out at picklershop.com and use code KOTC.
Yeah, real quick. Speaking of Pickler, I talked to somebody the other day. Shout out Talia in Nashville, and they have nowhere to play indoors. Like literally, like 2 courts. And Pickler has announced like 5 locations in Tennessee.
There we go, just for her.
Yeah, just for her. So shout out Talia. You got plenty of spots coming.
Alrighty, so we're going to get right into this. So first item of business, I think we're going to brush up on MLP.
Yeah, let's go.
MLP.
Let's do it.
So MLP is coming up in Dallas the first week in November. I think
November 2nd
through
5th, I believe. Yep.
How are you feeling? Is Jimmy going to make an appearance?
Yeah. So listen, I'm going to be very honest about this. So I coach a football team. Our championship game is scheduled for the 3rd.
Okay.
Well, actually, sorry, it's currently scheduled for the 4th, but we're trying to move it to the 2nd. And I think that's going to happen. So if it's moved to the 2nd, we have to win one more game to get there, but we're pretty dominant. So yeah, either I'm going to be there on the 4th or I'm going to be there on the 3rd.
So you're saying you're going to be there?
I'm going to be there. I will be there. Yes.
And what happens when you don't show up?
No, I'm going to be there. Don't worry about it.
I've heard that multiple times before.
No, just trust me, I actually have to go because I actually have work to do there.
Interesting. All right, so let's get right into it. So obviously with MLP, they have the premier level and then challenger. Next year, it's all going to be one.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
24 teams.
So for now, we're just going to talk on the premier.
Yeah, let's start with premier. That's the challenge. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so Group A. So we got Arizona Drive, we got Chicago Slice, Orlando Squeeze, and Texas Ranchers.
Is there a way to get like can we do a graphic right here?
Yeah, we'll put it up there.
Put up a graphic so people can see it. Yeah, Arizona made the playoffs.
They did.
Right? They had a good deep run with Julian Arnold.
Mm-hmm.
The Slice, you have Ben Johns, who also made the playoffs.
Yes.
The Squeeze are your defending champions.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, I think last MLP, the Ranchers were definitely.
I thought they were a top 5, top 6
We're going to be a good team.
Yeah.
But what I was told is Dylan Frazier was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren Stratman, it's tough because she didn't think she was going to play 12 hours before she actually started playing. So I'm sure that mindset and things like that were probably rough. But they still have, and then they have Georgia and they have Redmeyer. That's not a bad team.
Okay.
So that's your group of death this time.
Okay. Who do you see coming out of that group?
And that one's tough. But oddly enough, I think that watching the matches, I think the Squeeze kind of caught lightning in a bottle. Mm-hmm. And so this time I'm going to say the Slice come out of that and the Ranchers.
Really?
The Drive, Deckel, sorry, you're my guy. Julian, you're not my guy. Glosdog, Vivian David, you're out.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Squeeze do not defend their title.
Okay.
All right. Group B.
Group B. Group Bravo. We got your favorite team, the Bouncers.
Yeah.
Atlanta Bouncers.
So
we got the Breakers, Bay Area Breakers.
Okay.
And then who is this? The MASH?
No, Columbus Sliders.
Columbus Sliders, and then DC United.
Okay, so this one is honestly, in my eyes, it's pretty easy because the Bouncers are a layup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bouncers, I'm actually surprised they didn't make any moves. However, I was told that the Bouncers tried to trade Simone.
Okay, for who?
I was told Mary Brasha to Miami.
Okay.
But I don't know. Yeah.
Who would have won on that trade had that occurred, if that's true?
Oddly enough, I think Miami would have.
Okay.
I think Simone's got a little bit left. She's just on a bad team.
I think Simone is a good player. I mean, in doubles, obviously. I mean, singles, a little bit different, but I think doubles, she's a good player.
Well, let's look at it like this. Say they make that deal.
Yeah.
Are Simone and Tyson better than Tyson and Mary?
I mean, Simone has so much experience.
Right?
Yeah. You know exactly what you're going to get with Simone.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, what about Tyra and Simone?
Yeah, I would think that would be a
better than Tyra.
I mean,
Mary,
once again,
right?
you know what you're getting with Simone.
Yeah. And you don't get mono. Which is what you got.
Maybe they already have it.
Maybe.
Anyways,
I thought that would have been a good deal. Anyways. Okay, so Atlanta, they're not going to win. They're probably not going to win a match. Bay Area. I think Bay Area comes out of that group. I think that's a solid team. I think Rafa, let me tell you something about Rafa, okay? Had a long conversation with Rafa yesterday.
A heart-to-heart.
We had a heart-to-heart. Love Rafa. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't get the sunglasses on the hat thing, but I know that he's trying to pay his bills. He's got mouths to feed.
He's a family man. He's a father.
He's actually a legit family man. And he's got mouths to feed.
Yeah.
But Rafa is working his ass off.
Yeah.
That dude is training. He is doing work. And he's doing it quietly. He's not this dude that's going to make videos and like.
Hey, I went to the gym the other day and I ran my mile as always. And I told somebody.
5 what?
Exactly, 5.
Okay.
And I told somebody and they said, why didn't you post about it? I'm like, do I have to post every single time I work out or I train?
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Exactly.
You didn't know that?
Apparently.
You burn more calories if you post it on social media.
Apparently.
That's the rule. Anyways, Rafa's working hard. And I think Rafa's going to come in and he's going to be an app. And he told me his new paddle.
With Adidas?
Yeah, he said, Jimmy, I'm telling you right now, it's the best paddle on the market.
I hope he's saying that.
Rafa is pumped. So breakers are gonna win.
Okay.
Unfortunately for the sliders, I actually think the sliders 3 out of 4 aren't bad, but you still got to play Colin Johns and mixed, and so sliders are out. And DC is still the favorites in my opinion. So I'm going to say breakers and DC come out of that one.
Okay.
Moving on down.
Group C, we got the Aces, Brooklyn Aces.
Okay.
We got Dallas Pickleball Club.
Okay.
Guess what other team's in there?
Miami.
And then we also have the Utah Black Diamonds.
This one's interesting because Dallas underperformed in a major way. I actually thought Dallas would be a little bit better than they were.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't play well. You guys, I think, had a little bit rough because you didn't have Hayden. Not that Tardio didn't play well, but he didn't play well in men's, and he'll admit it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he actually played pretty good mixed, though. Miami, I think Miami is the favorite to come out of that.
The favorite?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you don't think so?
I wouldn't put them as the favorite.
Who do you put as the favorite? That's a tough pull. I'm gonna eliminate Dallas.
I mean, going on paper once again, I think you'd have to go with Diamonds as being the favorite. I mean, they have Annalie.
I know, but Annalie is. Here's the thing, okay? I mean, not to get into this so early in the show, but Annalie doesn't get to use her loaded paddle in MLP.
Mm-hmm.
According to Jilly B, that's the only reason Annalie.
We're going to touch on that, Jilly B, after this.
Yeah, according to her.
Okay. I don't know if that's true or not.
But my point is, Annalie hasn't had great MLP success.
Sure.
Like her MLP success has not been. So can she carry a team?
Yeah.
I mean, I do think their men's team should be good with Thomas and AJ.
Yeah.
I mean, and they picked up Kyle Yates on that Saturday, and Kyle Yates was kind of a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think I'm going to say Miami. Utah should trade for you.
Is there a trade deadline for these?
I believe it's 2 weeks before.
Within 2 weeks before?
2 weeks before is the trade. At least that's what it is for Challenger.
Gotcha.
So I assume for Premier is.
Gotcha.
Would you welcome a trade?
I don't know if I can say or not.
You're not allowed to say.
Yeah, I love Aces.
I know. Yeah. But what if the Aces traded you to Utah and you got to play with Annalie?
Annalie's a great player.
Would you rather play with Annalie or Catherine?
That's actually tough because I actually think Catherine's really good.
Yeah,
she's really good. Annalie is obviously the number one, but
Catherine's really good.
She's really good. Yeah.
But if they made a trade, if it was Tyler and who else is on your team? Tyler and Coop
for
Irina and AJ.
Coopy Nation.
Koopy Nation, first of all, would have to move to Utah. Second of all, who wins that trade? Just curious.
I mean, I think both teams would think that they win the trade. Otherwise,
which is why it's a good trade,
exactly.
Right? That's usually why it's a good trade.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there haven't been any other trades that have happened in Premier, right?
No, not this year.
Okay.
No.
Not this season, yeah.
Yeah. Last year, Richie traded Kawamoto.
Gotcha. Anyways, going back to Group C.
I'm going to say Miami and Utah.
Okay.
I'm going to sleep on Brooklyn this time.
Okay. We're coming out of group play.
I hope so. I'm going to sleep on you guys until Hayden.
You said Miami and who? Sorry?
Utah.
Interesting. Okay.
And then I think.
Which, funny thing is last event, Dallas Pickleball, they were so close to coming out of their pool play that some of their players thought that they had actually come out of pool play and they didn't.
And it was a weird way that they did it, right? It was some weird roundabout way. Yeah.
So
I know
it's kind of crazy how the scoring standings work, but even some of the players thought that their team had to come out of the group.
By the way, just so people know, like on these pools, the rule is that they are randomly drawn, but you cannot play the same team
all 3 times.
All 3 times, yeah. Yeah,
is that new this season or was that last season?
Yeah, because
I thought there was a team or two that had played the same team all 3 times.
Let me read. Somebody asked about it, and Brooks sent out a tweet. And I'll tell you exactly what he said.
Okay. Yeah. So it should be interesting. It's going to be November 2nd through the 5th. Okay.
The pools are done via random lottery ball draw, but optimized so that no team plays the same team in a group in all 3 events. And to maximize the number of different teams each team plays over 3 events. For this year, we might always have a group of death.
Yeah. Interesting. Yep. So this is November 2 through the 5th in Dallas, I believe at Brookhaven. And we have
Are you pumped for that?
I'm excited.
Have you ever been there?
No, it should be fun. But from what we've heard and the renderings that we've seen, the layout is beautiful. It looks really high end.
I mean, for the amount of money they're paying, I hope so.
Yep. So.
Let's go Challenger just real quick.
Okay, real quick. So in Challenger, we went through some of the shuffle draft is what they call where they add drop draft. People.
Yep.
So this is Group A.
Yeah.
We got Florida Smash, who they dropped Domi.
Domi. She voted. So
Domi.
Hey, real quick. So Koopy Nation said, is it Foamy or Domi? Or Foamy or does it rhyme with Foamy or Mommy? And she voted on it and said it rhymes with Mommy. So
I don't know how you think it rhymes with foamy.
Oh, okay. So it's Domi.
All right. Frisco Pandas, your favorite team.
Yeah.
We got the Fives, New Jersey Fives, and St. Louis Shock. Who's coming out of that group?
That one's got to be the Fives and the Shock out of that.
Okay. Group B, the Vegas Night Owls. Ooh.
Yeah.
Sure.
Spencer Smith. Shout out Spencer Smith.
LA Mad Drops, who they added Andre Silvestro.
They added their whole team's different.
Yeah, everyone except for Gabe.
Yeah. So Gabe and 3 newcomers.
Okay. Milwaukee Mashers, New York City Hustlers.
Talent.
Yes. And then the Hustlers who added that girl from, you thought she's from Australia? Kelsey Grambo. Yeah. Thoughts?
I think Mashers with Callan and DJ
really
are going to make a run.
Make a run or come out of the pool?
They're going to come out of the pool.
Okay.
This is crazy because that's a tough pool. And actually, oddly enough, I got faith now that he's 18 and he's an adult that he can carry a team. I'm going to say Gabe and the Mad Drops.
I would say Owls and Mad Drops.
I think Owls are good. Owls came out of it last time, right? They were really good. But I think Owls falter this time.
They lost in the finals.
I know, but I think they faltered this time.
They're getting out of the group play.
Okay. And then the group of death.
ATX, California Black Bears, Seattle Pioneers, Hard Eights.
Yeah. So this one's tough because Hard Eights won it. They went undefeated.
So every single team in that group made semis or just out of pool plays?
ATX didn't.
They didn't make it up pool play?
I don't think ATX made it out of pool play. But ATX is good. They're a good team.
So who's coming out of there?
But that one's tough. So I think that I'm going to say obviously the Black Bears are going to come out of there. We made a move. Eric Pilette is a new addition. I think he's a solid mixed player. I think that's going to put us over the hump. And then just because I don't like Tim Parks right now, Pioneers are gonna come out of there, and the Hard Eights are going to go from champs to he's going to be done by Wednesday, drowning his sorrows in some barbecue.
We need to talk to him because Tim, did not think that his team would lose even one game for the remainder of this season.
Yeah,
not even one match.
One match. Yeah, a game, sure, but not a match.
No, he said game.
Well, he's crazy, but they're going to lose.
Yeah, he said game.
There's no way. Listen, CJ Klinger is a great player and he is improving, but CJ Klinger, we got something for you, okay? And his name is Anderson Scarpa. And Scarpa is bringing it.
All right. Any fireworks that you foresee coming out of this year or this next event, MLP?
No.
Any crazy things coming out?
No. I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, Aces are in the same pool again as Miami. That's how we started last MLP, right? So you guys went Dream Breaker with them. So hopefully, it'll be interesting this time. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, dude. I love MLP. I think it's fun. I think it's the smartest thing that they've ever done is that they're going to piggyback it off of Nationals. Mm-hmm. It's a long time to stay in Dallas, but are you going to come home?
I don't know because they announced the date or the location change like after I got my flight and everything.
And
like
allegedly Nationals, right? They're doing it like tennis, where it's like Wednesdays are all the.
I think they're switching it up.
So Wednesdays you'll play singles, mixed, and.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so, I need to check.
Yeah, so now the way that I was told they're doing Nationals is Wednesdays you'll play singles, you'll play mixed, and you'll play gender doubles first round. Your first round match of all three.
Okay.
And then Thursday you'll play the next round match of all three. Yep. Friday, Saturday, yeah.
Do you like that?
I like it for once in a while, but I can imagine as a player it absolutely sucks.
Why?
Well, because as a player, I guess as a player you could be done on Wednesday.
Exactly, you could be done early. You could.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I just think that there's 3 different disciplines, and it's probably tough to change your mindset.
But wouldn't an elite athlete be able to do that?
Well, sure, they should. But some of these athletes are very fragile. Some of them are very fragile.
Who's the most fragile out there?
Well, did you watch the men's doubles finals with Colin and Ben against J-Dub and Dylan?
I didn't, but you were giving me updates on it.
Colin is very fragile when it comes to net cords. I've never seen, his eyes are going to get stuck like that. Like my mom used to say, your eyes are going to get stuck like that. Quit rolling your eyes, Colin. He's fragile. Who do you think's the most fragile? Who's the most mentally weak player? Like, is there someone that you can talk trash to and you know that it gets in their head?
I don't know.
There's got to be somebody.
There's somebody out there. Yeah. No one's coming to mind.
Like you talk trash. Like we know that like when you chirp at Annalie, she even said that like she doesn't, it's weird because she said she doesn't like when people pump up the crowd. And then she goes and pumps up the crowd. But she's young. And so maybe that's why it's probably different 16 than when you're 30, right?
Matt Wright, he gets really mad.
Oh yeah.
People should chirp at him more.
Yeah. I'd love to chirp at Matt Wright.
He loves it when we talk about him.
Matt Wright is a fan of the pod. Just kidding. Matt Wright probably has like some freaking law school intern that watches the pod and takes notes. So,
okay. Anything else with MLP?
No.
Okay. Real quick. Our next segment is brought to you by, who's it brought to you by?
Modballs. Modballs.com.
Check them out. Use code KOTC. They are delicious. They're clean, yet
sustainable.
Nutritious,
delicious.
They're great. I love them. We see a lot of you have been trying them out. We know you're having a great experience. Check them out. This flavor is incredible. They only have 2 flavors. They're working on more. But check them out.
Modballs.com.
Really easy to carry with you at tournaments, keep in your bag, and give you a little bit more energy throughout the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sponsoring this segment of the pod. Moving on.
Yes.
Our favorite girl who got us started on this pod She went out and she did a massive podcast. She typed up a letter, a complaint.
Yeah.
And tell us what that was, Jimmy.
Yeah. So Jilly B was playing in a match. She was playing with Tyra Hurricane Black. She said Hurricane's her middle name, right?
Yeah.
Tyra Hurricane Black and Jillian Braverman were playing in a match in Vegas. And they were playing Irina Tereshchenko and Jade Kawamoto. And Irina was hitting missiles off of her paddle.
Did you see this, or is this all hearsay?
This is all hearsay.
Okay.
I was told that some of the balls coming off of her paddle were literally the word that I was told were scared. They were scary.
Let me back up real quick. The biggest controversy of 2023 has been paddles. Are paddles loaded? Are they delaminating, which makes them to hit balls a lot harder, a lot faster? That's been the most hotly debated topic this year.
Yeah.
So continue.
Yes. So she was hitting balls were coming off of her paddle. They were saying that basically she wasn't even hitting powerful strokes. She was short backswing, and these balls were just flying.
Okay.
So after the match, Jilly B was like, that paddle is, and she uses Paddle Tech. Jilly B was like, that paddle is freaking illegal, and I want it tested.
Okay.
And she requested for the paddle to be tested. After that, they moved on. Irina and Jade moved on.
So the paddle came back clean?
Yes.
Or within specs?
Yes, but the on-site testing, let's just be real. The on-site testing at PPA leaves a lot to be desired.
I think on-site testing everywhere leaves a lot to be questioned.
I agree.
Everywhere.
So Irina and Jade move on, and they play Leia, Jansen, and Anna Bright. And same thing. She's just hitting freaking, for lack of a better word, just rockets, just crushing the ball. And they, at the end of the match, Anna and Leia decide to test Irina's paddle too, because they were like, this is insane. And so they report that it's tested. They all have to, I guess, turn in their paddles when it's tested.
Yep.
And then they're going to send them off. I guess this time they're going to send them off. So you have four different players complaining about these paddles. Carl, who does the testing.
Carl Schmitz, yep.
Yeah. Basically says that they're coming back fine. He's tested them all. There's not a big deal with these paddles. But in my own personal opinion, okay, I feel like you players play enough pickleball that you guys would know, right? Like you guys know when a ball's coming hot, and you know when a player has this new discovery of power all of a sudden, right? And the players that get complained about the most are Annalie and Irina lately. And both of them,
I have not heard of Irina.
I've heard a lot about Irina and how her game has changed since June.
Okay.
And I've heard a lot about Annalie's paddle this year. Okay. And they're both with Paddle Tech. And I don't know what the rules are. If you have to go buy a paddle off the shelf, if that's the rule. I was told that that's the rule. But there's no way the paddles they're using are the freaking Paddle Techs that you go buy off the shelf, because Paddle Tech does not have a reputation for a lot of power. And so after that happened, Jilly B called Connor, went off to Connor. She went to Carl, went off to Carl. And then we find out that MLP, there were 24 paddles that failed testing in MLP. And I believe only 9 failed testing at PPA. And so or maybe it was less than that. So what a lot of people are saying is, take your paddles and use your loaded paddles on whatever you want at PPA, but MLP is going to catch them. MLP does do a little bit of different testing than PPA.
Yes. I am so foreign to this testing. I don't know all the protocols. I don't know the rules. The paddles I use are well below the threshold.
You're not cheating. You're not trying, Tyler.
And so I've never had to worry about that. So I don't know all the rules.
But Jill basically said that everybody's corrupt and PPA is corrupt, and that there's certain paddle manufacturers that pay money to be main sponsors or something. They pay $10,000 or something like that.
Can we do that with King of the Court? Have them give us a shout out every live stream.
And those paddles seem to always pass. And yet other ones. So just to be clear, all the Yolas failed at MLP.
Okay.
They were too gritty.
So what does that mean? They're just bringing up backups, or are they switching the paddle? Because I mean, the Yola players were still using Yola paddles.
Yeah, so they just had to bring up backups.
So you're saying one of the paddles failed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Yolas failed. I don't know. There was a rumor that Irina had 8 paddles there, and like 6 of the 8 failed. I mean, I don't know. The thing is this testing is so subjective.
Yeah.
And so it's just insane. But the one argument that Jill made, and we know Jill, she flies off the handle sometimes, was that there's a reason that Annalie and Irina suck at MLP and they'd play better at PPA. And that's because they can use their loaded paddles at PPA.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I don't buy it.
Do you think they just suck at MLP?
I don't buy that argument that she's making.
Do you think, how big of a difference do you think a paddle makes?
I've said this long before. Personally, and I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, I don't think it makes that big of a difference in doubles. Singles, I think it does because you're going for passing shots. Power matters. If you're a top player, you should be able to keep that ball low. And no matter how loaded a paddle is, if you're hitting a ball 2, 3, 4 inches off the ground, they're not going to be able to speed that up.
But you lose that control. Too,
exactly. 100%. You lose that control.
So we were hitting the other day and I pulled out this paddle that was illegal that somebody had.
Yeah.
And
it didn't change your game, didn't change the outcome.
No, I hit one ball with it. No, true story though. I hit one ball with it and it flew out the back by 4 feet.
I think a lot of people are just looking for something to blame. Outside of singles. I think singles, it does make a big difference. But in doubles,
you drive the ball in doubles.
Yeah, but the person's going to be at the net. If they don't hit a perfect drive, that ball's sailing or you're getting blasted.
But isn't it going to sail in singles?
Yeah, but it's different. The court's bigger. There's only one person. You have a lot more to play with.
Size court.
Well, yeah, but there's more room to play with. Okay. Come on, Jimmy. Come on.
But listen,
we're learning your IQ right now.
What do you... Mine or yours? What do you think about though? Like, I mean, when you're driving the ball and you have an extra 10 miles an hour on it,
ball's going to go out.
Yeah, but if you're driving it right at somebody, like you just said, they're at the net.
Get out of the way.
Okay, but again,
the thing is, in any situation that I can think of, if the players that are complaining about someone else's paddle were to switch with that paddle, I don't think the outcome would be different. I think a lot of these players, unless it is so significant, because most of the time, say 40, whatever 40 means is the threshold, is the limit. Say it's testing at 40.1. Technically, that's illegal, but is that really going to make a difference from 39.9?
I think it depends, but I also think that this testing is bullshit. Like, that's the bigger issue.
Sure.
The bigger issue is the testing is crap. The other thing is like some of these paddles, literally the ball sticks on your paddle to the last possible second because it's so gritty.
Yep.
And then you almost end up throwing the ball over the net. And then obviously we know that you can get more spin and more top spin. And then these balls aren't going out because there's so much freaking grit and spin on it.
I honestly think, and I've said this before, I think the white color paddle is much more an advantage than a loaded paddle.
When is PPA going to get rid of that?
We talked to Connor and he claims they're going to do it middle of next year, early next year.
Yeah, because Selkirk has all those white ones in there.
I don't know about Selkirk specifically, but there's other companies out there that have an inventory that they need to sell through.
I heard Franklin's got a new paddle coming out.
I've heard it's great from what I've heard.
Yeah, that it's like, probably illegal though.
I don't know. I haven't even seen pictures of it, but from what I've heard,
I bet it looks like all the other Franklins.
Exactly, but people really, really like that.
Don't Franklins? Don't you think that the front of them looks like back in the day when you couldn't find like the TV channel with the rabbit ears? I probably don't know what that's like.
I don't know what you're talking about. You must be old.
I must be old. So anyways, Jilly B says there's loaded paddles out there. She was fired up. I mean, I think that paddle controversy is always going to come into play. Now, what we were told is that there is a new paddle testing coming.
I mean, we've heard this for a long time, but yes we've heard a new one.
Have a machine or a robot or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And it's not just going to be Carl being like, oh, this feels a little gritty. Yeah. Remember when you had that Vulcan that one failed, one didn't, then it failed. And then he said, it just doesn't feel like it should pass.
Yeah. So they got to get the testing figured out for sure.
You know what they need to do? They need to get rid of USA Pickleball. Let me tell you why. Okay.
Okay.
Because the USA Pickleball standards are not keeping up with the paddle manufacturers. And so PPA needs to invest money and they need to come up with their own standards.
Yeah.
It's like the UFC just fired USADA, which is the anti-doping agency. They were doing all the drug testing for the UFC for years and years and years. And then they were like suspending players or suspending fighters for like stupid things and then not catching other fighters.
Yeah.
And so because they weren't able to keep up.
Yeah.
And so I think that this is the same thing with PPA.
I'm not going to say what paddle it was, but I've played against DLAM paddles, and then there's this other paddle that is deemed legal.
Yeah.
And I've never felt more afraid on the court than with this legal paddle that was providing this insane amount of power. It was with this low 5.0 that was just swinging away at everything he was poaching.
But you just get out of the way, right?
I did get out of the way, and they were all going 15 feet out.
What paddle was it?
It was I can't say, but it's legal and people use it.
Really? Like pros use it? Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Is it never mind.
Yeah.
The Vice?
No, that one's illegal. Yeah. Oh, which one? The
Vice, isn't it illegal?
The one that has the holes?
Yeah.
That one's illegal.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think for the most part, and there's going to be specific instances where this might not be true, but for the most part, I think the whole paddle illegality of it is mostly a cop out.
We're going on the record right now.
On the record.
Jillian Braverman and Tyra Black did not lose to Irina and Jade
because of a loaded
because
paddle.
Irina had a hot paddle.
I don't believe so.
They lost because Jilly sucks.
Even if she
That's
did,
what you
which
just said.
No, not because she sucks.
Okay.
You're putting words in my mouth.
Okay.
You're just spewing stuff out and hoping I agree with it. This guy sign the document right here without even looking at it.
But they didn't lose because of Irina's paddle.
What was the score?
I have no idea.
Was it close?
I don't think
I mean, if you're within 2 points, then maybe.
I don't even think it was close. Yeah. I think they were so scared.
So scared of the delaminated
that they just
paddle.
didn't want anything to do with it.
Yeah. Because there's multiple fronts on this. There's the surface roughness, the grittiness, and then there's the power, the deflection.
Yeah. And the deflection, the reality is there's a paddle coming out, and I'll say it since you're not allowed to. Gearbox has a paddle coming out, and it's going to be like hitting a freaking trampoline.
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch it.
All right. So
back.
what's more advantageous, a insanely gritty paddle or a paddle that provides insane amounts of power?
I think it depends on one, your game, and two, if you practice with a paddle that has that crazy power and you learn to hone it in, I think that is. But the spin off that gritty paddle is tough too, because like I said, some of these balls will stay on these paddles for so long, like it's almost like you're throwing it at the end. You know how you know. Amateurs experience this way more than pros, obviously. But you go to hit an overhead and you hit it, but it ends up being like a throw. Yeah. And it actually works in your advantage. That's how some of these are.
I've seen you do a couple of those.
Yeah, I have, absolutely. And it looks like I got this crazy power, but really I just hit it.
Yeah.
But that's how it is when it's that gritty. The ball it's not coming off your paddle the same way. Like it's anyways. Yeah. So I just think it depends. But I think if somebody is using a paddle that's loaded and that has crazy deflection and they are practicing with it, it obviously becomes their advantage. Now, if you're using a paddle and it delaminates during a match, then you probably do lose control of it. Because we've mentioned this before. You played with someone that it delamed in the middle of the match and everything was flying out. Me? Or against somebody, maybe.
I don't know. Who? When?
I don't know. I don't want to mention.
You're making
names.
Stuff up.
No, you mentioned it once. Go back to the podcast. Back when we allegedly talked about someone's wife. Anyways, but if it delams in the middle of a match, I think that you're not used to it. You probably do lose control and you can't keep shots.
But I don't think it can delam so much that it provides that much more of an upside advantage.
Bro, I'm not
I don't know. I think for the most part, and like I said, there's going to be situations where it does apply, but for the most part, I would say 85 to 90% of the time, it's just an excuse.
But I told you, I played with someone the other day it was like a month or two ago at this point, that was using a carbon. And it was like a mid-40s female. Not that they can't have power, but this person doesn't have a stroke that you would think has a lot of power. Yeah. And they were hitting the heaviest ball of anybody I've ever seen. Like maybe not anyone I've ever seen, but it was crazy the power coming off of that paddle.
Okay. Anything else with the paddle controversy?
No, I mean, let's see what happens at MLP. Maybe we can get some testing numbers.
Our next sponsor of this segment, Crown Pickleball.
Crown.
Jimmy, the weather's cold.
Yeah.
Are you sick of breaking balls?
Yes, absolutely.
Go check them out. CrownPickleball.store.
Yes, we got the website. Crown Pickleball. Balls or ball?
CrownPickleball.store.
.store. Check them out. Order them there. Back in stock.
They are back in stock.
So go buy your crown, or you can find them on all the social sites.
And like I said, right now the weather's getting cooler, and so these play much more similar now to a Dura. And also they never break. Well, not never, but they rarely break. So that's really cool about Crown Pickleball.
Yeah, I have yet to break one.
Use code KOTC. Support them. Support us.
Yes.
What else is new? So I don't know if you saw anything else you want to talk about.
No, yeah. Should we talk?
So recently, everyone's been talking about the next Olympics, 2028 Olympics, and there was a article about the new sports that are maybe coming into the Olympics, and pickleball was not on it.
Yeah,
and so that made a lot of the pickleball players.
But squash
fans.
was.
Squash was, yes.
Lacrosse, I believe.
Lacrosse is fine. Even flag football, I think is fine.
Did you see Tyreek Hill? You know who Tyreek Hill is?
No. Did he date Taylor Swift?
He's not dating Taylor Swift.
Well, then I wouldn't know.
Don't know. But he is the fastest player in the NFL, and he said, "Hey, NFL guys,
I might be faster."
Okay, well, he's not running a 5-minute mile, but he said, "Hey, NFL guys, let's get a team for flag football."
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be insane. Right? It'd be fun to watch.
I've always told people this. I said the next Olympics, maybe pickleball will be there, but I think the following one, 2032.
So there's this. I looked at it a while ago, and so don't quote me on this, but there's this rule that there's a specific number of countries
that have to play it.
That have to be playing the sport in order for it to happen. So I don't think pickleball is quite there yet. I think at this point you'd literally be putting, a lot of Olympic sports, I guess, are this way, but you'd be putting pickleball in the Olympics for the United States to dominate.
Yeah.
But I do think 2032 is when we're going to see it.
Yeah.
So you will be 40, what?
Oh, what is that? Oh my gosh.
So 10 years.
10 years?
No, 9 years.
Yeah.
9 years.
I'll be around 40.
40.
Younger than Matt Wright, so I can still do it.
Yeah, so you could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what we're looking at too. People were disappointed. They're upset about it, but I think that pickleball is making strides in that direction, but it's not quite there yet.
I don't know why a lot of people, they say, oh, I really want pickleball to be in the Olympics. I've never understood why so many people, like, that's their end goal, is for it to be in the Olympics.
I think that legitimizes the sport. I think if it's in the Olympics, but the thing is, the Olympics has like breakdancing this year or something. They have like some.
Is UFC in the Olympics?
No, but they do like jujitsu and they do like taekwondo.
I don't know. I just talked to a lot of people, and a lot of them say like their
boxing.
end goal is for pickleball to be in the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Olympics is the crowning achievement of amateur athletes, right? Like the Olympics are. Yeah. But here's the question. Because the NBA, now they allow pro athletes to play in the Olympics, but a lot of sports, it's amateurs. Mm-hmm. So are we going to see 5-0s representing the U.S. in the Olympics as opposed to pros? Yeah. I'm serious.
Who signs up from Utah?
Oh, geez, there's a whole list of them. Can't even imagine. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are we going to see 5-0s instead?
Okay. Another topic. Leah Jansen to return to singles.
Yeah, so thoughts? A lot of people might have missed this, but Dave Fleming did a little finals preview. Mm-hmm. So the race, we got clarification on the race.
Okay.
So top 8 men, top 8 women.
For singles or doubles or?
For mixed.
Okay.
And then it's top 16 for everything else, I believe. I don't know. I have the rules.
I thought you said you got clarification.
I have the rules somewhere. Anyways, point is the race.
Okay.
So they're taking the top point scorers of the whole season, and they're going to have a tournament at the end of the year.
San Clemente.
They're calling it the finals. Mm-hmm. And Leah Jansen said, I qualified. Mm-hmm. I might as well play. So Leah Jansen is coming out of retirement to play singles.
Is it just for this, or she'll continue to play?
I think it's going to depend on how she feels after. So I've talked to Leia. One of the reasons she retired to begin with was it just takes a toll on its body. And you know this, playing singles. Having to play singles right? And she's making deep singles runs.
Yeah.
Right.
She was almost making finals. She was taking top 3 every single time.
Every single time. Exactly. And then you turn around and you play, mixed, and then you play gender doubles. Yeah. I think that it was taking its toll on her. Throw in being a diabetic on top of that. Yeah. Challenges that obviously, we don't understand. But I think that she's making her return for this. I think that moving forward, she'll kind of decide what she wants to do. But she is playing. My advice to her or other people in her situation is, I feel like a lot of people feel as if they have to either play every single tournament or not play any at all. Yeah. I think you're going to see a lot more people just play 1 out of every 2 or 3 or 4 tournaments, singles. That's what I'm planning on doing, is playing 1 out of every 2 or 3 tournaments. Yeah. You don't need to play every single tournament. Yeah. It takes a toll on your body, like you said. Yeah. There's a lot more that goes into it, but I mean, there's no harm or foul if you only play one out of every 3 or 4 tournaments. Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I think so too. The one thing with Leia is, like she said, she just felt beat up. Yep. She felt like it was affecting all of her other. I mean, you love this guy, but Colin Johns, I mean, he actually was a good singles player. He was a top 10 singles player. Yeah. And he decided he didn't like it. It wasn't worth it. Yeah. Yeah. And I think, JW's been slowing down quite a bit in singles. He's still a good singles player. Yeah. Well, look at even a guy like Dylan used to go deep in singles, and now he's getting upset. So the finals, just real quick. So it is for singles, it's the top 8 men and top 8 women. Okay. For mixed doubles, the top 8 men and top 8 women. And then what happens is all 16 players will be sorted in order of points, regardless of gender. Then the player with the most points can choose any qualifying player of the opposite gender. So the next pick is made by the player of either gender. But I heard with this format, Ben and Annalie will still be able to play together. Well, yeah, because Ben's going to be the top point. Ben's going to be the top point getter. Yeah. And so Ben's going to choose Annalie, right? And then the next point getter is going to be, if you look at the points, the next point getter is going to be, so Annalie will be gone. Mm-hmm. And then it's going to be probably Colin. My question. Wouldn't it be funny though if Colin passed Ben in points and then Colin chose Annalie? It was that way last year, and even at the beginning of this year, but I think Ben came up. But wouldn't that be funny? Yeah. And then he ends up choosing. Well, for Annalie. A long time, everyone was saying Ben's the number 1 player in the world, which everybody knew that, but technically he was always number 2. Because of points. Yeah. Because of points. Yeah. So Ben will choose first. He's going to choose Annalie, obviously. And then who's he going to choose for men's? Probably Colin. Because now he can choose anyone. He could choose Riley. Those 2 would never lose. That's what's crazy. And then Annalie is second. Mm-hmm. So for women's, she'll get the first pick. Yeah. So she could choose Catherine. So it's interesting. I think that makes it fun, but I also think that it gives us maybe some big advantages. Yeah. And then it's round robin. What, 1 game or 2 out of 3 games? It is round robin. You play 2 out of 3 to 11. Mm-hmm. And then that is for singles. And then looks like it's going to be 3 out of 5 to 11. For round robin or for the actual, because I'm sure they'll do a round robin, then break. Let's see. Pool A and Pool B will seed the players. All matches 2 of 3 to 11. Oh, then Sunday will be 3 out of 5 to 11. And then, TV format. Play everything on 4 courts, equal time to each pool and each women on center. Maybe I should be. So my question is, I thought that I had heard with this format, you're only able to play in like 1 event. So Ben, for example, he couldn't play in singles, mixed doubles, and doubles. Oh, really? Like he can only play in 2 out of the 3 or something to that effect. Did you hear anything like that? I haven't heard that. I think it'd be interesting to do that because you qualify for all 3, so you might as well, right? I don't know. Anyways. So I think we're going to see Ben and Annalie take on the world again. Gotcha. But it's possible that if Ben chooses Annalie, that at that point, Catherine or whoever the number 2, like they could choose you could see a Riley. Well, also it kind of depends on what's the motivation, what's the end result. Is it more for fun, entertainment? If that's the case, then I could see Ben kind of choosing a different partner. Yeah. But if there's
big money or big points or something like that, then you would see the standard.
Yeah, for sure. So,
all right. Last and not least, our segment of everyone's favorite questions is brought to you by Acacia Pickleball. Check them out. They make these incredible shoes. We love them. Super lightweight, super comfortable.
Yeah.
I played against Jimmy the other day, and he was actually wearing them, which I think scored him a couple extra points.
100%.
He probably would have lost 11-0, but instead he got a couple more points than that.
By the way, did you ever play Fall Brawl?
I did.
You did? Fall Brawl was
I drove down super early one morning and came back that same night.
You did?
Yeah.
I was just told that Kelly, Kelly Stewart.
Uh-huh.
Kelly Stewart drove down. So St. George is where Fall Brawl is. Fall Brawl is one of the premier tournaments. Used to get pros there.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesse Irvin played in it 2 years ago.
More like 3 or 4.
Okay, well, still. But this is from 2020. See the mask? See the COVID mask?
Yeah.
This tournament, they made you use your own ball because it was during COVID. You had to roll the ball to the corner. Anyways, Fall Brawl used to be the premier tournament, but it just happened this last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just told that. So what is it, St. George? 3.5 hours?
3 to 3.5 hours from where we live.
Kelly Stewart drove down, played, drove home to her son's football game, and then drove back down.
Drove back down
and played. Woo. Yeah. But Tesla, autopilot. And she probably got to see the eclipse on the way down. So anyways, Fall Brawl, check it out.
Questions. Oh, before we get to questions, we have had a lot of people donate to the show.
Yeah, we have.
Which you can donate via YouTube, and we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We're not begging for donations, but if you guys do donate, we're extremely happy with that. And if you guys want to ask us a question or something like that, we can answer that. But some of our notable YouTube donations, I'd like to give them a shout out.
Yeah.
Steve Gensler.
Oh, Steve.
$10.
Gensler's the man, dude.
Steve Bates. You don't know him.
He's
$20.
Isn't Steve Bates the
stance guy?
Stance guy, yeah.
Sock guy.
Somebody asked me the other day if I knew Steve. He's a San Diego guy.
Yep. San Clemente. Yep.
San Clemente, yeah.
Liz Kofi, $10.
Okay, Liz.
Primal Pickle, $5.
Okay.
Jessica Lambert, $20. Wow. And in addition to those, we have, let's see. Got to pull them up. We have Chris, who I don't know his last name is. He's donated 2 times, $10.
Chris, really?
Yep. Travis Brown, $10. He says, putting this towards your Daytona funds.
Okay. That's because everyone wants you to go to Daytona.
With Chris, they had a question for us, so we're going to answer that. Okay. Leah Jansen went from being talk of the sport for quite some time to a string of disappointing results. She's been a favorite player of mine since I got into watching the game. Any insight to that?
Yeah, I think that a couple things with Leah. I think that she is trying to figure out new partnerships and different partnerships, right? So I think that there is, her and Fed started playing middle of the year.
Yep.
For women's, she's kind of bounced around. She's played with Jessie. She played with Anna Bright. She played with
Elise.
She played with Lucy in a tournament.
Yeah.
So I think that she's trying to figure those things out. And then also a big portion of, I think Leah's a great player, but a big portion of her relevancy came from singles.
Sure.
She was very good at singles. She was always, like you said, always medaling, always in the top 3.
Yeah.
And so when she's not playing singles, you're probably not hearing her name as much. Next year though, Leah and Tyra are signed up to play all year. And I think that that's going to be a team that's going to be a force. And, and if she does fully come out of singles retirement, I think Leia's going to be back in a big way.
Can we just start 2024? Everyone just cancel the rest of this year, start clean slate.
Yeah. By the way, Steve Gensler, real quick. Have you ever tried their Caddis glasses?
No.
Go check them out.
Okay.
So I bought some blue light, those blue light glasses, like
for gaming.
Yeah, for like computers, gaming, anything like that, and they're freaking money.
Cool.
So I'm just gonna give that.
Should we wear those next time?
Dude, honestly, they help me. I can't even tell you how much they help me.
Did they help you see the lines better? Because you were making awful calls.
My line calls are
awful calls.
I have X-ray vision.
Okay. Anyways, we really appreciate those donations.
That's awesome.
It helps us continue to create these shows. We're going to get right into.
That's
do some math.
That's like 80 junior bacon cheeseburgers.
Okay, moving on to questions. So we kind of talked about this. They said, any legs to the Jilly Bee hot paddle take? I know you guys don't like her, but it made sense. So we discussed this earlier in the show. Yes, paddles can be illegal. They can get hot. They can be powerful. I personally don't think it makes as big of a difference for the most part. I think there will be some instances where it does make a difference, but for the most part, I think it's more of a cop-out.
You're going to get heat for that.
Maybe. We'll see.
You're going to get run.
How come Tuesday Night Pickleball has better production replays than the PPA?
Dude, that Tuesday Night Pickleball production is money. Have you watched the Arizona Pickleball League?
Well, I mean, I played in it.
But now the Arizona,
it's the same thing. But yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, the production is so good. Is it just because jigsaw courts are like the orchard, like the?
So that's a permanent location. So they're able to set up these cameras permanently, and it's so much easier to do that. I mean, that's one of the things I've talked about PPA is the production they run. Most people don't understand the amount of work that goes into setting up, removing, bringing this equipment in for every single tournament.
Yeah, but that makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, it's really top end quality production.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good.
Who will be the first pro player to write a book?
Oh, that's actually a good question. Honestly, it's going to be someone like Jilly Bee, who is very self-important in their own mind, and nobody really cares. But who has a good story? Like, who's someone that has a good story?
I mean, someone's got to do it on Ben Johns. I mean,
yeah, but like,
I don't think he would write one, but somebody could do a biography on him.
Is it a biography or autobiography?
It's a biography. Well, if they're writing it themselves, it's autobiography.
Yeah, but if someone's writing it,
biography,
it's a biography.
Yeah, come on,
sorry.
Come on, Jimmy.
I'm a Utah Valley University grad.
Are you guys Team Dylan or Team Logan Paul? Do you see that last night?
Absolutely the worst fight I've ever seen in my freaking life. I was embarrassed. Dylan Dennis, you're an embarrassment. He freaking gets DQ'd and starts trying to take him down. It was awful. The lead up.
How much of a show is this?
100% it's a show.
100% show. It's just all for
the lead up was terrible. Dylan Dennis posting all these pictures about Nina, Logan's girlfriend, was awful.
I thought you thought it was funny.
It was funny to a point, and then it just got just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like the trash talk. But then it just got so ridiculous. Also, Tommy Fury didn't beat KSI. KSI won that fight.
But didn't Tommy Fury win?
Yeah, but then Tommy Fury got the decision. I don't know, dude. I don't know if it's real or not. Like, I don't know if this is like WWE and we're all being fooled, because I thought WWE was real until I was like 12, you know? So we're all being fooled here, but whatever it is, they all freaking are cashing checks.
Will pickleball be in the Olympics? We touched on this as well. We think it will. It will be for sure. It's just a matter of time.
What's your favorite Olympic sport right now?
Curling? I don't know.
Dude, like
running is fun. Like the different, like the sprinting,
100 and
that's fun.
Like obviously when Phelps was at his peak, like, I mean, that was must see TV.
Yeah.
But you know what else is really fun? And I mean this in the least creepiest way possible, but women's gymnastics is money.
That's disgusting. You would say that.
No, stop. The athletes that they are is insane. Insane. Simone Biles.
Male gymnastics?
No, not the males. But Simone Biles is top 5 athlete in the world. And she's this big.
What date is proposed Toronto PPA MLP event supposed to happen? Did you see the schedule? When was it?
I'll look it up while we're,
I thought it was like summertime around there.
I hope it's dead of freaking winter.
That'd be fun.
Just kidding.
How much money would it take to get Jimmy to streak PG-13 at the next Utah PPA? I think he'd do it for a pretty low amount, but what you should offer him is money to remove this hat of his.
Who's asking if I would streak?
Your boy.
Of course. Trying to get a lot of run out of that.
When you're looking to speed up the ball, how do you watch your opponent's paddle and ball?
Here it is. Toronto is August 28th to September 1st.
So what we have is August 28th through September 1st for the Toronto events. Somebody said, when you're looking to speed up the ball, how do you watch your opponent's paddle and ball? Which that does not make sense grammatically.
Well, if the ball is hitting the paddle, can't you just watch them both at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh, he means to speed up to a spot.
Yes, I think that's what they're referring to. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So this is something that I've been working on, is different patterns. The more you practice, the more you're going to realize or know where people tendencies are. A lot of time, if you can jam them on the inside of their armpit, on their dominant hand, that's going to be really effective. If somebody's sitting forehand or backhand, then obviously you might want to go to the other side because it's going to take them more time to transfer to the other side. But just being able to hit those locations is going to be important. And so that's what I would recommend working on, is accuracy and then putting that into play, mixing it up.
Do you predetermine where you're going to go with the ball, though?
I wouldn't say predetermined. I mean, it's a kind of last second decision.
Yeah.
If I'm playing somebody like you, I know I can always hit X spot on you, which is anywhere.
Yeah. Hit it to my high backhand, see what happens.
Going to a wedding in Salt Lake early November. What should we do, and where's the pickle?
Oh, there's early November. So what's that? A couple weeks?
Yeah.
You might be able to still play outside. There's a chance.
Yep.
But just within,
go to the Picklers.
Yes. Within 30 miles of downtown Salt Lake, you have 6, 7, 8 Picklers?
Oh, probably 4 or 5.
Still. Yeah. Lots of Picklers. Go check them out. They're everywhere. You'll have West Jordan, Sandy, Kaysville, Uinta.
Yeah.
Picklers.
Just check out Pickler. Reach out to Jimmy. He can hook you up with some more locations.
Yeah. And tell me what level you are. I'll get you some games.
Is Jimmy going to the next MLP? Let's get Jimmy to replace Steve Kuhn. Are you the new Steve Kuhn?
No. Gosh, no. I don't want that. I don't want that responsibility.
When are you and AJ playing together again? Fire emoji. I enjoy playing with AJ. I haven't talked to him about future plans for next year. So as
AJ
of now,
was living a good freaking life. Did you see his stories?
Where's he at?
He stayed in Vegas for a week.
Okay.
He lived in Vegas for a while. Went to the Vegas Golden Knights Stanley Cup unveiling. Sat in Brian Levine's suite. Brian Levine obviously is the owner of one of the owners.
Gotcha.
Then he went to freaking WNBA game, and then AJ and I have a mutual friend, Brandon Takiavea, and AJ was just kicking it in Vegas. Brandon lives in Vegas, and he had a good week.
Cool. Jimmy's got that dog in him, especially on the pod. Where'd he get that from? Where'd you get that from, Jimmy? This is how you were raised? You've been hanging out with certain people?
This is how I was raised, Grew up in a small town called Benicia, California. Anyone know where that is?
Moved to Utah shortly after.
Moved to Utah when I was in high school, actually. So, yeah.
How is the PPA/MLP business model sustainable with no gate and only a few thousand viewers? I don't know what they're saying with no
gate, which is the cost to get in. So the thing with PPA, the reason the business model is sustainable is because, one, there actually is a gate because they are charging 20.
PPA does charge
to get in. Number two, you got to remember the amateurs are playing these tournaments.
Yep.
So, for example, Vegas had 1,200 amateurs playing. If each of those guys are paying $100 a piece on average, that's $1.2 million, right? That they're making off of that, plus spectators.
Yeah. And another big thing is sponsors.
And then you obviously have sponsors. Then you obviously have sponsors and things like that. So PPA does make money. It is sustainable. Now, is a $20 million, $30 million payroll sustainable? I don't know. But they do make, PPA is very, very profitable.
Yeah. MLP, we kind of brushed on that.
Yeah.
As of now, nobody knows.
Yeah.
Talking doubles, what's more important, the performance of the team or the individual?
I guess it really depends on how good that individual is. I think you can have a bad game if Ben Johns is your partner.
Yeah. I would say team. This is not tennis, so it's a team sport.
Most of all, it's going to be the team. You both have to play well. Otherwise, they're going to target you.
Yeah. Will Steve Kuhn start a new league? Vibe 3.0.
That'd be funny.
That'd be hilarious.
I could see Steve Kuhn going international, doing some sort of global pickleball league. What's that? What it was called in dodgeball?
I can't remember.
I could see him going international. I mean, there already is like MLP Australia and MLP. So I could see him doing that. He's not leaving pickleball. He still wants Duper. So yeah, he's going to be involved somewhere.
Do you think Duper will ever integrate with pickleball brackets?
I would like them to. I would like there to be one uniform rating system, but no. I actually could see I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I think that would be the easiest way to do it, but I think that we're going to see somebody else come along and create something better.
Do you think, let's see, will there ever be a day where Jimmy beats Tyler?
Yeah.
No.
100%.
No.
Absolutely.
Not off of our results from last match.
We're going to start doing let's start doing like a training series.
We did like, I don't even want to call it the match. We'll say like a sparring session, me and Jimmy, and it wasn't even fun. It was like Logan Paul versus Dylan the other day.
Yeah, you laid on the ground and tried to pull guard. It was weird.
No.
So listen, I'm going to train. We're going to make this happen. You can watch. Yeah.
All right. We will do 2 more questions. What is all the partner drama with CP, Leia, Elise, and Jesse?
I mean, obviously the CP Elise thing was because she dropped her at nationals.
Mm-hmm. And this was over a year ago. I kind of doubt that those two specifically have.
I doubt there's any beef there anymore.
Yeah.
Catherine was supposed to play at the Elise at nationals. Annalie's mom couldn't play. Annalie needed a partner, so Catherine dropped the Elise for Annalie.
Yeah.
Right before. Leia, according to, depending on who you talk to, Leia and Elise had agreed to play for 6 months. 6 months was up. Leia dropped Elise and moved on to somebody else.
Well, didn't drop her
Yeah, technically she didn't even actually drop her. And then Leia and CP kind of had a similar situation where, I mean, the thing is partnerships come, partnerships go.
Yeah.
I would say that the word drop is not always necessarily true, like you just said. And so I think that
talking to players moving forward for next year, a lot of them are only planning for 4 to 5 to 6 months out. Yeah. A lot of players used to plan for the entire year with a certain partner.
Yeah.
But now a lot of players are just doing very short term.
Well, you and I talked to a player yesterday or 2 days ago that has played with the same partner. Basically, they've done a full year commitment for like 3 years in a row with their partners. And they were like, yeah, I got 3 or 4 lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that makes more sense because you've got to see if there's like synergy there, right? Yeah. You got to see if there's rhythm there. So,
okay. Last question. Is there animosity between players when one player drops another player? Example, Riley and Matt. I would imagine there is quite a bit. If somebody is actually dropping somebody, I think there should be animosity.
And that was the term. That's the correct term there, right? Because Matt and Riley had committed to play the whole year. Riley did drop Matt. Mm-hmm. But Matt has kind of proven that, he's not bad. He's still got a little left in the tank in that.
He's got that dog in him.
He's got a little left in that old age, 47, 8, 9, 45, however old he is.
Yeah.
Matt is still grinding. So.
Okay. Anything else, Jimmy?
No, I'm pumped for MLP. I'm pumped for nationals. Who do you have?
Ignatowicz and Glazdag.
Oh, you got big Glaz?
Yeah.
Is it weird playing with someone taller than you?
I'm a little bit taller than her.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, she's like 6 foot. She's a 6-footer.
I can claim I'm 6 feet.
Tyler.
Come on.
Okay.
Do I need to get on my tippy toes?
You guys are the same height.
She might be she does look slightly taller than me.
Yeah. But hey, Glaz, listen, if APP success translates, you guys will do well because Glaz has been rolling.
Thank you to our sponsors, our title sponsor, The Pickler. Go to thepicklershop.com to buy your next paddle, anything pickleball related. We got Crown Pickleball. Get them now if you're sick of breaking balls.
Yes.
Modballs.com. We love them. Healthy, nutritious, clean fuel to get you through the day and through your tournament matches. And Acacia Sports, Acacia Pickleball. We love their shoe.
Yeah.
Super comfortable, super lightweight, very stylish. I love the white and gray.
Yeah, I think the white and gray looks good.
Very clean.
Did you choose those colors?
Kind of. Yeah. I gave them some input, and this is kind of what they spun out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for your support, your donations, watching the show. If you've made it this far, please do us a big favor and hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. You'll get more updates on when we release more content.
Yeah. Check it out. And we're going to have a couple player interviews coming up. So stay tuned in.
Okay. See you.
Okay, there it is.